The topic of this conversation is going to be whether or not spirituality is checking out. Is spirituality dead at this point? I see. Okay, get down. And what is fueling this energy is Neptune going into entering Aries, and we're talking about a practical, uh, headstrong energy to where it's basically talking about the show me state, versus the illusions, versus the dreaminess, versus the passive. I want pancakes already. All right, sis dear, I'm getting your pancakes. Versus the passive energy that we've been in the age of Pisces. Okay, I've talked about the age of Pisces before, and I'm going to keep talking about it because I feel like people don't fully understand exactly what was going on when we were, in the age of Pisces. You saw spirituality, religion being used as weapons against people. We saw that when they were killing people that were not Christian. Okay, so we've been seeing this for a very long time play out. So I feel like people have been in this kind of guilty energy, choosing to be either Christian or whatever they believed in, simply because um, it's been used as a weapon. Religion, spirituality has been used as a weapon, and people didn't have like a full choice to fully decide whether or not they wanted to experience other forms of connections to whatever source you choose to connect to in this lifetime. And we do have that right. So now we're entering Aries energy. Neptune is entering Aries, to where we're talking about charging forward. We're talking about your own leadership and your own guidance here. We're talking about an energy to where you fully have to uh, know yourself. So you're going to be taking a look at certain things that you believed in. Your belief systems may go completely flat, to where you start to question your whole entire life or your whole entire existence. And I just want to alarm you guys that it's okay that you're experiencing this energy, and it's okay that you move along. We are supposed to evolve and progress here in this life. And this couldn't be a better time. Like, going into the age of Aquarius, we're already talking about the rebellious, humanitarian, for the people energy, right? We're also talking about a time of technology. We're talking about a time to where people are going to be figuring things out truly through, um, you know, community and connecting, right? Kind of puts you back into like the 2020 era, right? Um, where everybody was connecting, and that was when spirituality really just took off, because people were trying to figure out what was going on. They were trying to find a savior, but under the Pisces influence, it was trendy. It started to become trendy instead of an actual help to people. Excuse me, you guys. And by it being under the Capricorn influence as well, I can't. It skipped me. It's kind of skipping me right now to um, what how we were transiting in Capricorn. But we've been under Capricorn's influence for a very long time. So you guys know, we've seen the breakdown of actual churches and organized religions and occults, of every kind. Um, we saw a lot of relationships that were um, occult like, come to ends as well. And that's what's leading and prompting this type of energy now, to where people are becoming independent outside of relationships. You're going to start seeing themes of your relationships at the moment, not coming together simply because you don't believe in the same things anymore. Or either, the both of you are questioning at the same time, like, hey, like, what have we been doing this whole entire time? So back in 2019, when I first came on the scene, right? Uh, First of all, I want to talk about a little bit of my planets here that I have going on. So my sun is in Scorpio, and my moon is in Aquarius. So I was a bit ahead of time with the energy that was coming in to me, you know, and I truly didn't understand astrology at the time, even though my Aquarius energy was charging me forward towards numerology and also astrology as well. Um, I'm diving into it now, and I find it so freaking fascinating now because I truly understand like everything that's going on, why things are happening the way that it's happening. I understand people better, and I understand myself better. But yeah, astrology, and I really didn't fit in like the community of tarot. I had a lot of clients. I had a lot of people that I can channel because of my Scorpio energy. So the channels come through to me, but I always channel like what is hidden and what is beneath. That's my Pluto energy, and also we're in this exposure energy of Pluto as well. So there's a lot of influence of Pluto and Neptune energy at the moment, Aries energies at the moment. So this is my time. My energy is my moon sign, which I will be turning into the person that I actually am when no one is looking, uh, is being exalted in this energy at the moment. So I'm trying to keep on task, y'all. But yeah, at that time, like I said, I wasn't into those things, but it was calling for me to get into it. And my channels that I was channeling, was way before time. And I couldn't just do like the popcorn type of copy and paste messages and stuff like that. I just didn't fit in. So what ended up happening was that I had a Christ consciousness moment to where my whole entire identity collapsed because of my chart. I didn't know my chart at the time. I didn't know, you know, so and I was trying to find, you know, in my life, which I was always geared because I have a triple millennial stellium in Capricorn. So that means I have my Saturn, my Neptune, and Uranus all in Capricorn energy. So I was really, being urged at that moment or in those times to fully figure out who I was and set a stable foundation. So I came up on the scene due to my Scorpio energy, which is me being able to channel and do mediumship and see through certain stuff that was happening at the time. But with my Aquarius moon energy, it was telling me, and also my Aquarius moon energy was telling me like, be rebellious, be the one that actually speaks out. Like you have to tell people because it's basically about humanity. So speak out, tell them. But at the time, you know as I said, I was going through that pivotal moment where I was just like, I don't fully understand what's happening. The conflict was on the inside of me, even though I created a great tarot channel. Like, I had thousands of views, I had thousands of people on my live stream. I had clients out the back door. It was a success, and I built a great foundation. But I wasn't authentic because I was not in line with or checking in with all of my planets. So this is actually what's happening. You have to know your star system. When we're talking about energy, we're talking about the pioneer, Aries energy as well, but it's in a different type of way. How do you give your community? What do you have to offer? But not as a service to people or being a servant like we were in the age of Pisces. We were being basically, our energy was being siphoned from us. We were working as slaves because we were talking about hidden structures. We're talking about, spirituality being used as a weapon against the people. We're talking about self-sacrifice, in Pisces energy, right? But spirit watching the entire time these systems that were playing out. So But yeah, you have to figure out, like, who you are during these moments. You're going to feel led and empowered to figure out who you are as an individual, and how you can actually give in this energy. And Aries energy is that kickoff moment, and pushing you towards actually creating it for yourself, you know. But yeah, during this time, like I said, don't feel bad if you are questioning your religion or questioning your belief systems. If you feel like you have a factory reset going on with yourself, a lot of you just need to check out your chart. In terms of whether or not spirituality is dead, I'm going to say spirituality as a weapon, okay, is dead. We are not in an age to where people are going to be able to help you to discern or see what's going on with you anymore. You know, you're being pushed towards finding those things out on your own. Okay, like you're gonna have, you hear a lot of these messages to where people are gonna be saying, hey, check your charts, check out numerology, things of that nature, because people that actually they're actually using the transits, they're using their chart to go with the age, not the time, but the age that we're in. So they've always been ahead of the game. If you have been feeling like you try to start something, right? If we're on a 1 year, right? This is a time where you plant seeds. This is a 1 year. This is a time where you're planting seeds. It's not a time of harvest. Okay? A lot of you may be receiving because you have solar returns coming in for yourself. A lot of you may receive due to, your karmic wrap-ups as well. I want to speak on that topic about, relationships. I want to start speaking on these things. But, a lot of you are going to start reaping rewards due to you experiencing or closing out, your karmic relationships with people. So a lot of people that were in your lives during, I would say, the last 10 to 20 years, right? You're going to see a lot of splits that are happening with these relationships because those are karmic wrap-ups. We're starting the next 20 years. We're starting this energy off, right? Also, Aries is going to be in Neptune for, oh no, I believe it said 2039. So you see that stretch in between. So you utilize this energy that's coming in to really be empowered and go, full charge towards, finding out who you are as a star system, finding out, who you are numerically as well, so that you can fully be in alignment with what it is that, you know, you want to do in your life. You can start actually building something and see something actually take off and grow and progress due to us being in Aries energy, but also Aquarius energy, So, these are all the energies that are working with us, not against us, but it's going to be to each his own. Okay, so at the moment, structurally, my whole entire routine, my life, like my routines in my life, my home, relationships, is taking a turn, and also my identity. So I'm going through the identity shift. A lot of you may experience Christ consciousness, or we're actually having a massive, another awakening again due to us, during this time, but also due to that Pluto influence to where things are being exposed. Pluto is my second ruling planet. What am I trying to say? My second ruling planet, because my sun is influences, which is Mars. I share a planet with Aries, and also my ruling planet is Pluto. So that Pluto influence is the exposure, what was hidden beneath, what you ignored, those signs and those signals that you ignored, what you felt like you were actually healing, but you really weren't. A lot of you are finding out that you were in actual karmic relationship or karmic, situations with a job, with your, you could add a karmic, karmic relationship with your train of thought. You know, you could have had to figure out your mind, like really balance out your mind and get rid of those generational patterns that you kept replaying over and over and over again. A lot of you have to get rid of your past lives as well. We were diving into that we weren't even supposed to be diving into. We're talking about the present moment. We should not be in the past. I understand that we were in Pisces influence, which is spirituality itself, but spirituality was used as a weapon against your understanding of yourself. It was more of you know, the fluffier type of stuff that was going on. It wasn't anything in depth. It wasn't actually helping you create like a actual plan for your life and giving you direction. It was all of these signs and signals and what your ancestors were saying, and what the universe is telling you to do. Take, it's like spiritual woo woo. Take this, take this herb and take that herb. These are completely different things, mind you. It's completely different. So why they came together, I really don't know. Tarot, hoodoo, herbalist, shamans, all of that, and I want to get into like, all the names and how they came about and all that. This is type of stuff that excites me. I'm really pumped and I'm really amped because this is something that I really love and I like, and I'm very multifaceted. So at this moment, like I feel my grounding, I feel my life shifting and changing and my whole identity changing. But at the same time, I'm actually able to see the progress. I'm actually able to see exactly where it is that, my life is shifting and changing. It's no longer, I'm being swayed this way, I'm being swayed that way. I'm trying to figure things out. I don't know exactly what's going on type of energy, because I do know my actual star system. And I know what age we're in at the moment. So I have that clarity point. But if you don't know your exact birth date, what you can do is you can find someone. I'm not going to give out this service because it is a lot to do. And I want to be well practiced. I want to be well, rehearsed in what I'm doing. I'm actually just starting out, so I can only tell you as much as I've learned already, you guys. So you're gonna have to bear with me with that. But as I'm learning, I'm able to talk about it more because this is my actual energy, and I love this. I love talking about, the inner workings of a person. My specialty is going to be talking about relationships because my sun sign energy is the relationship. Scorpio represents the relationship. Okay? And a lot of you may not know that, but Scorpio rules the relationship. Scorpios are the inheritors. They are the ones that bring relationships together. They are the ones that set up systems for relationships that get you geared and prepared and ready for your partner. So if you've ever had a Scorpio in your life, they came in and based on how your life was going, right? If you were trying to clean up and get rid of certain people, certain energies in your circle, in your home, even within yourself, right? Scorpio is going to come in and clean up the mess for you by being the mirror to you, but also all the while showing you as they live, not as them like telling you this or that. A Scorpio will drop hints and clues and say, well, hey, they will offer like, hey, why don't you do this? Have you thought about doing that type of energy? But they're not just going to come in and bombard their way. Their energy is very heavy, and they're going to highlight and also mirror all of the things that you want to change in your life that you're still on the fence about. They come in to say it's time. If the universe brings you a Scorpio in your life, it is, you are going to experience wealth and abundance. And what I'm trying to say, uh, you're receiving the rewards for actually doing the work, because we are the rebirth, right? So we give you back the karma of what it is that you have already completed for yourself. Okay, so that means that we'll come in, and if you are just needing that one little nugget to try to figure out what is going to pin your business together. Scorpios are like multifaceted beings, right? So they're able to come in and bring that abundance energy because they rule inheritance, and they're going to give you your inherited work and energy that you have. They're going to give you that little nugget, and your whole life gets destroyed. Scorpios get a bad reputation of, screwing people's lives over, but they're like that what is that green crystal that everybody's afraid of. I keep forgetting the name of this thing, but Moldavite, I think that's what it's called, Moldavite. But they're like that little piece of crystal. It doesn't take much, but it's heavy, and it will cause extreme chaos and catastrophic events to happen in your life, to where you are actually going to have to do what it is that you have been avoiding because of that Pluto influence as well. So you're going to go on a very spiritual, spiritual, intense, I wouldn't say warfare with your fellow. It can kind of feel like a warfare. It can kind of feel that way. Like I said, they get a bad reputation for it. But if you are understanding, like, hey, these are things that do need to get done. Scorpios get their flowers 10-20 years later, when someone's life actually falls into the right positions that Scorpio were trying to push them in. That's when they'll say, oh wow, they have that clarity on, like, damn, like, that Scorpio is really right or helping me. It's not that we ever try to be right at all. It's just that we know. Okay, Scorpios are considered God's right hand man. That's what people say. That's astrologically, that's what we're here to do. So it's not like we have that complex or anything like that because we get a bad rep. People are always on the fence about us, so we try to stay away. We try to stay away from people, for real, we do. But we can't. We have to learn. We learn ourselves through people. The more that we deal with people, the more that we actually get to see our gifts, um, you know, expand and evolve, and show up for ourselves. So that's why we rule relationships too. We can see ourselves in everybody, an aspect of ourselves in everybody. So therefore, we are able to, read people. We also actually, see the real you. So when you're in a Scorpio's energy, you feel seen. So if you're a type of person to where you're hiding whatever you're hiding, if you are not, what is it? If you are not like, if you don't accept everything about yourself, then Scorpio is going to highlight that energy for you, so that you can start accepting yourself and who you are, and actually seeing yourself in the right way. Okay. But enough of that. I'm just saying these are like type of, this is the type of energy that's going to be happening. You guys are going to know yourselves through and through. This is the reason why you may see spirituality kind of get put on the back burner in relationships, so that actual structured things, because we are in the vibration of 2026. Okay, so 2026, we have the vibration of twos, 0, and 6, not just the sum of one. The reason why we're in the sum of one energy is because we have that Aries influence, which is the pioneer, which is the leader, which is the I am. So that's the reason why, you're kind of hearing that, oh, we're in the energy of one. We're going to be out here doing X, Y, and Z. You're going to have to get out there and get it how you live and all that type of stuff. Getting it how you live is actually what it means. Like, who are you? I am. Who are you? You cannot lead, you cannot pioneer, you cannot move forward without a actual plan. So that's that six energy that comes in, and we're talking about responsibility, we're talking about home, we're talking about community, we're talking about all of the structures, right? We're talking about Cancerian energy, right? That's how I view the sixth energy. But these are all the things, like I said, astrology and numerology together is able to show you what is happening here. Okay, actually getting to know what all the planet's energy is, but also breaking it down for yourselves. I'm a type of person to where, I just don't go off of the name of the planets. Like, I physically need to know, like, what are they made of, what is the real influence of this energy, and so forth and so forth, because my Aquarius moon asks for me to do that. I love to explore. I love to think for myself. I can't receive what someone else is just giving me, just dropping into me. I've always been rebellious in that way. And it's not a rebellious energy, it's just having your own mind. So that's just the way my system is set up. But for you guys, like I said, it may be several, like your different houses, right? Maybe being restructured during this time. And it is not just about relationships. This whole entire relationship, stuff is going to start shifting and changing as well. Where the focus of relationships are going to be more in a laid back type of energy. People are going to start being more reserved within their own self and their own life, because they're actually starting to know themselves and create things for themselves, so they don't have this yearning or this longing to actually be with somebody just to satisfy their void. We are in the void. If we are in the energy or the sum of one, right, for this year, this is the actual void. This is the universe's womb being reopened here, and you know starting to birth something new. Okay, so is spirituality dead? It is, but isn't in the sense of how we're going to see it actually play out. Okay, and it's to each his own, like I said. But anyway, guys, I hope this helps. Love, light, peace, darkness, and in between. You guys, namaste.